What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the weekly recap, where every Friday morning I am bringing you kind of the latest and greatest from sales. Jake Dunlap, maybe a little marketing, little sales ops sprinkled in there every Friday. This week, my friends, we have got a lot on the agenda. I'm going to try to spend about 10, 15 minutes here taking you through everything that I've seen from the last week. I think I had like 60 calls with clients. So lots of things to share in weekly recap number 79. So every single week, you can tune in, recorded or live at 9 a.m. Central. We're dropping the recap. It's going to give you an amazing chance and like a quick little format to really catch up to speed on like any kind of interesting insights that you may have missed. So every week we've got a Jake's Take section, which is something new, my spin on something. This Week in Awesome, which is just something cool or interesting that we've seen. And in the news section, a Ask Jake Anything, and then a weekly challenge for all of you. So my friends, this week in Jake's Take. So as we jump in here, and again, if you have questions, I know this is a live format, kind of like a show format, but look, I'm still monitoring LinkedIn. So if you have sales questions or if there's something that pops up and you're like, hey, what's up, Jake? Like, tell me a little bit more about that. Like, we can do it. Like, this isn't just me talking at you. So let me know what you think, and I can jump in the comments, and Caleb will text me right here on my trusty cell phone. So this week's Jake Takes is getting deeper with your customers. I've had an opportunity and my leadership team over the last 2 weeks to meet with over 20 of our customers. And I think a lot of times we create these very petri dish like interactions with our customers, where a CEO only comes in and meets with their customer advisory board or has calls with random influential clients. It doesn't really get in the trenches. Whereas I literally had 10 client calls over the last week, maybe 6 days. And I've got to tell you, you will never learn more about what's happening in your business, what's going well, what's not going well, than meeting with your customers eye to eye. And that's getting the amazing truth of what's going well and hearing it from them. So try to create more serendipity. And if you're in sales, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you also make this a goal of yours. Make it a goal to go back and talk to, every quarter, 5 or 10 of your previous clients, what's working for them, what's not working for them. And that's going to help you better inform kind of your pitch and what's, kind of how you position going forward. So that's my take on customer advisory boards. If you're going to take the time to really invest in them, make sure you also take the time to invest in other, ways to interact with folks. So that's it. Get in the trenches, make sure you love it, etc. So Gerard asked me, did you get Super Bowl tickets? I'm going to get to that. Right. I'm going to get to that in This Week in Awesome, which is our next section up. So in case many of you did not know, the Kansas City Chiefs are officially AFC champions. That's right. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. I was at the game on Sunday. It was epic. Nobody has been able to wear a shirt like this for 50 years. It's been a long time. Now, Gerard, my real question for you is, do you have $8,000 that you'd like to donate? And I'll make it up to you so we can go to the Super Bowl together. So am I going to the Super Bowl? TBD. Wife says no. I say hell yes. I went to both World Series for Kansas City, but I've got to see. I'm not 100% sure yet is what I'm getting at. Brandon Flory, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in, brother. So that is This Week's in Awesome. Maybe one other kind of quick thing that I've noticed. I put out a blog post on Tuesday. If you guys don't notice this, I think we do a lot of stuff. In Caleb and Kara, we got to do a better job of this. I think we moved it to Wednesday now. So it's every Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. I drop a new blog post, 500 to 1,000 words on a topic that I've been talking about. We did a post on. And so this week, I want all of you to go to my articles section. And I'm telling you, if you are in sales, just go binge read that this weekend and go to my YouTube channel. I've got 400 something videos there now. Kara's insane. She just makes new videos every week. So this week I talked about, we had a big end of year push. We had a gap. We had some massive deals that had kind of fallen out toward the end of the year that we were counting on that were in kind of commit phase. And we had a pretty large gap to get to our annual number. And look, as a CEO, I'm not too proud. I've got to get in there and make things happen. And so I'll tell you, in this kind of end of the year crunch, one of the most important things that I can tell you is that planning is everything. And so the more that you plan in advance, and then also just always having a contingency plan. And so I think that's something that I've always done is like I always have a plan of what happens if things don't happen. So you're not just relying on those, you've got something to kick in. So that's my big advice for everyone. For like, again, the blog post that we put out this week is always plan for the worst case. If you always plan for the worst case, you're rarely just going to be caught with your pants down. So again, if you have Super Bowl tickets, you want a good friend who's going to pay for beers, who's going to pay for swag, let me know. I'd love to go to the Super Bowl with you. All right. This week's in the news, LinkedIn's Global Talent Trends 2020 report is now out. Why should any of you care? You're in sales or marketing. Why do you give a shit about LinkedIn's global talent? Well, let me tell you, the war for sales talent is at an all-time high. I had someone, I did a post not too long ago where we talked about, our sales. I think somebody asked me the question, like, are salespeople getting worse? Or, is there like bigger divide? And I said, look, it's just that there's more sales jobs available than ever before. And I think, one of the things that stood out to me in this report is the reasons why people stay engaged. And there's really 4, right? But HR trends that HR people are paying attention to. The number 1 trend HR people are paying attention to is employee experience. Number 2 is people analytics. 3 is internal recruiting. I love that, right? How do we career path properly to make sure we have those roles filled? And then 4th is multi-generational workforce, right? You've got boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, all these people mixing up. But I just want to talk a little bit about employee experience because I think this is the real differentiator that a lot of people, especially in sales, we like to focus a lot on compensation, right? We like to focus a ton on, do I pay this person correctly or do I not? But the real reason that people stay isn't for an extra $5,000. It's the way that you treat them. And I'm not, I'll share with Scale, like we had some tough times in like late summer, early fall, and it really made us evaluate and, kind of our employee experience. What are we doing from the top down, sideways to make sure that when people come to the company, they leave better? And so we created a whole program called the Scale Difference, which is basically if you're a client of ours and you come and work with us, we're going to make a difference and impact on your business. If you work at Scaled, we're going to make an impact on your career. And those are the types of things that, if you're in HR or you're hiring people, look for ways that you can enhance the experience of your employees. I am telling you again, the data shows that this is like one of the top trends. And then Kara, can you go ahead and copy and paste the link to this in the, I think will be a good article for people to like take a quick gander at. Do people still say that? Take a gander? I don't know if that's like too old timey of a saying. Not 100% sure. Oh, look, Kara already did it. She's just all over it. What's going on, Chris Rangel? Thanks for tuning in, my man. So, all right. Gander. Caleb says gander, apparently. So it's not that old timey. I still think take a gander is still like fairly old timey if I'm like not too insane. Okay. All right, my friends. So next up we have arguably my favorite section, which is Ask Jake Anything. Hashtag Ask Jake Anything. This has picked up a lot of steam. I'm getting a lot of these Ask Jake's Anythings. I've even got an impromptu one that I'm going to get involved with here. Brandon Flory tossed one out. So I'm going to go down with 2 Ask Jake Anythings. And again, if you hashtag Ask Jake Anything, I will try to get to it. Brandon Flory says, no, people don't. Bill says, gander is a great word. Bill, I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I don't have too many crazy ones. Again, I did grow up in the Midwest. And so, being in New York for so long, I had a lot of people that would, what did I say? I used to say, lipstick on a pig. You can't put lipstick on a pig. And that was another saying that my New York people were like, what does that mean? I'm like, how do you not know what lipstick on a pig means? It's like a very common saying. I think it's a very common saying. I don't know. All right. So this week's Ask Jake Anything. This is where you send me sales questions. I answer them. And let me give you a really good example of this. I want everyone to go check out my posts, not right now, after we end this. Go check out the post I did last night. There was a woman who sent me a DM. She's like, hey, Jake, I don't know if you can have time to do this. I said, you know what? I don't have time to go into detail. I'm going to put a post about this next week. And so I put a whole post about enterprise sales. And a ton of people got value out of it. I think we got like a few, 40, 50,000 views or something like that. So I'll do my best to answer your questions. All right. So this week I've got 2 questions. I'm going to tackle Mike Reed's question first. Mike Reed is a marketing consultant at Encore Business Solutions. Shout out to Mike Reed. Let's make sure to tag Mike so he knows that we got at him here. He said, how much overlap in skill set do you see between sales ops and marketing ops? This is a really, really good question because I see a lot of early stage companies kind of blend these 2 things together. Let me tell you my difference. Marketing operations in particular. One, marketing organizations are just not as big as sales organizations. If you're in B2B, right? B2C, it's like completely different. Mike, I'm taking 100% B2B approach. So if it's B2C, everything I'm saying is literally going to be the exact opposite. Marketing operations in B2B is typically more technical. That it's a lot about how do you keep these wheels in line, because you're trying to make people do things without having to talk to them or interact with them other than in digital format, right? Or maybe a mix of digital and physical if you're using events, etc. So I think marketing ops is a much more technical role, and you have to have a really good understanding of the bridge between marketing and sales. And I think sales ops has to have that too. But I would just say I think marketing ops is maybe a little more technical, where sales operations in its real form is really all the different ways that you can underpin and support sales. So that could be training and onboarding. It could be technical. It could be on career path. There's a whole bunch of things that could go into sales ops. So my kind of there's a technical aspect to both. That's the same. I just think sales operations maybe goes a little bit deeper into the business and tries to find ways to solve problems more proactively in the sales org. So that's it. So I think, yes, there's an overlap. I'd say probably 40% overlap, but the 60% where I think marketing ops has to go deeper is into the tools and tech. Sales ops needs to go deeper into like the business process. So that's my hot take. And my man, Brandon, I'm going to get at your question. What's the first thing I should be thinking of if I'm restarting a BDR program? And Brandon says he's sitting 15 feet away from MC Hammer at this very moment. Brandon, if you go up and get a selfie of you and MC Hammer, because I think you can even in your reply, you can take a selfie. I have got a massive scaled swag bag like for you. If you can go up, Brandon, and get a selfie of you of Hammer, even if it's like one of these selfies where like he's back here, like all the way in the background, like swag bag for you if you and MC Hammer are kicking it for you. So if you're going to restart the SDR and BDR program, let me give you my hot take here on what you need to do. The most important thing, map your buyer journey first. Understand where these people live digitally and physically. What I see too often is when people are starting their SDR or BD program, they jump all in to they go right into the tactics of like, what do you do or how do you do it? What I can tell you, that's not the right way to do it. Instead, really sit down and understand, okay, look, we sell into finance. What subset of finance? Where do these people live digitally? Where do they live physically? And then reverse engineer your process to map that. The people that I see successful and that do that reboot or have success with outbound, they are the companies that really hone in and spend most of their time focused on where their people live. So that is the first ever Ask Jake Anything on the fly. So I love it. Keep on hashtagging Ask Jake Anything. Keep on sending me DMs. Brandon, I know you're nervous to do it, but I'm telling you, everyone would love it if you got a selfie with MC Hammer. I know I would love it. I think everyone would love it. So anyway, last but not least, my friends, and we're going to wrap up here. As usual, make sure to like, comment, tag your friend. Let me know like what you think of this live format. We're thinking about going back to the video. We got a lot of interaction today, which I'm loving. Maybe it's the Chiefs. Maybe you guys are all pumped up for the Chiefs like I am too. I get it. It makes sense to me, right? Is this week's weekly challenge. So again, in this week's Get It Done, I have a challenge for you, for all of you, is find one way to stand out this week. It could be posting on LinkedIn. It could be having a difficult conversation with your boss. But if every week you make one little progress point to step out of your comfort zone, you multiply that over all your work weeks. At the end of a year, you end up a transformed person. And so you don't have to, don't worry about what your boss says. Do what you think is right and try to step out of your comfort zone. So what I want all of you to do is if you try something new, DM me. Let me know how it goes. But don't let fear of something you've never done before stop you. Try something new. That is my challenge in this week's Get It Done. So this is weekly recap number 79. Again, let's see. I'm going to check in one more time to see if you got this selfie. You better go get that selfie, man. All right. I don't know. Brandon, All right, you should see the security. Brandon, we're talking about like the long distance selfie. I get it, dude. I'm not going to make you do it. All right. Or maybe you just like snap a pic at hammer time. Or give him, you know what you should do? You should be like, hammer, too legit. I remember at the skating rink. I remember going around the skating rink and we were doing too legit, too quit. I don't know if anybody remembers that. If you grew up in the 90s, you know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, my friends, that's weekly recap number 79. Tag your friends, like and comment, and I'm out.